What's going on, guys? Sharpshot here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. So today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at VHS, which is a new 80s themed 4v1 asymmetrical horror game. And we're going to be looking at 6 things that VHS does better than DBD. For you guys that don't know what VHS is, as I said before, it's an asymmetrical horror game that's 4v1 just like DBD, where you can play as the good or the evil, which is like the killers or the survivors. It has a cartoony and really colorful, vibrant look to it. It has a really cool 80s retro theme to it, which I think is awesome, and it looks fantastic. This game is brand new. It's actually not playable to the public at the moment, but you can sign up on the beta on their website. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a few minutes, but what separates this game from all of the other horror asymmetrical games in its genre is the fact that it's also an action-based game. The trailer and the clips and stuff, there's a ton of explosions and a ton of weapons being used by the survivors and the killers. It isn't just a horror, scary, and gory game. There's also a ton of action to it, which is really cool. But these 6 things I'm going to mention in this video will help you know a little bit more about how VHS works as a game and what it's about and what it actually does better than DBD right off the bat. I personally think that this game is going to be the biggest competitor to DBD, so hopefully it'll follow through on the hype. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first thing that VHS does better than DBD is the fact that it's a free-to-play game. At full price, DBD is $19.99 in the US, and the fact that this game is free to play, you can just download it on Steam or Epic Games. Having the game be free to play is a huge bonus, and will have a lot of new players try it out than they usually would if it was a pay to play game. Coming in at number 2, survivors can fight back against the killer. This is the biggest twist and actually separates VHS from all other asymmetrical horror games in the fact that it isn't just doing gens and doing the objectives and then leaving through the exit gate and escaping. The only way that you can actually win the game is by killing the killer. You do this by building up weapons and crafting items and stuff in the map, and then near the end game, that's when you start to fight back as a team against the killer to eventually try and beat the killer. This is a really nice twist to it. It makes it so that the survivors have so much more to do, and will make it so that every single game is not bland. It isn't a carbon copy of every other game where you just sit on a gen until you've done all 5 gens. But in VHS, you can craft a bunch of crazy weapons, and it's always going to be different because you never know how the game is going to play out when you actually use your weapons and stuff. It's a nice little twist that'll keep every single match refreshing and new and exciting. I'm really looking forward to that, especially as the survivor main from DBD. Following up the fact that the survivors can fight back against the killer, coming in at number 3, there's also a really nice dynamic shift in the game that keeps the game always action-packed. In every phase, the early, mid, and end phase of the game, there's always something to do, and there's always a ton of action on the good side and the evil side. In the beginning of the game, the killer has the upper hand in the fact that the survivors don't really have any items they've crafted, and they're kind of just sneaking around trying to build up little momentum here and there by slowly building up their items and their weapons and stuff like that. But when you transition over to the mid game, that's where the survivors start to get a little bit more items, and this is where the killer or the evil is going to have to start trying to diminish the supplies and the resources of the survivors and try and keep the upper hand on the killer side. And then at the very end game, this is when presumably the survivors will have the best weapons and have the best chance at beating the killer, and this is when all hell breaks loose and all the crazy explosions and stuff like that happen, where all the survivors team up together and try and beat the killer at the end of the game. You might be saying, if the survivors could fight back against the killer, won't it be really lopsided and the survivors will always be able to win? Well, the devs have actually thought of this, and they've tried to make it balanced as much as possible, where the killer has an equal chance of winning the game than the survivors do. Coming in at number 4, VHS has a voice chat in game. This is something as a solo queue survivor in DBD I have been wanting forever. Because this game is such a teamwork oriented game, VHS has made it so that the survivors can communicate as best as possible with the voice chat I just mentioned. And on the status HUD from the survivor side, you can also see where each survivor is. So for example, you can see, oh, this survivor is at the courtyard, this survivor is in the classroom. And you might have a few questions about the voice chat. One of them being, will the killer be able to hear them? No, it's not a proximity chat, it's just a voice chat, so every survivor will be able to speak to each other in the game. You can also mute all of your other teammates. You don't have to talk on voice chat. You'll still have the same success whether you talk or not. You'll still have a good chance at winning the game. Coming in number 5 is the fact that VHS has really passionate devs. The clips I've taken from VHS in this video are actually from the devs playing the game. game. You don't see that a lot where the devs are actually really good at the game that they've made. This is really cool because they know how balanced their game actually is, and they know what to fix, what not to fix, and stuff like that. The devs really like their game and play it every single day at work, and it just shows that they're really excited for their project. Finally, coming at number 6 is the fact that every character is super customizable and there's a ton of cosmetics. Kind of like in DBD where you can customize the head, the chest, and the legs. VHS does this even better in the fact that you can customize over 10 different parts of a survivor's cosmetics. For example, one of them might be the hair, the hands, the shoes, the pants, the shirt, the jacket. There's so much stuff you can customize about these characters, and a lot of these cosmetics are grindable and you can earn them in game. You don't have to pay real money to actually get them, but there will also be outfits that cover all 10 sets of a character that you might be able to either grind in game or pay. I'm not too sure about that yet, but another really cool thing about this is the fact that there's also emotes that you can use in game, kind of a little bit like Fortnite, where you could like floss, or that's the L emote, I don't know, floss, L emote, I don't know what they're called, whatever. You can do emotes in game, which is something that DBD has been missing forever, where you can only point and wave. But in this game, I even saw in one of their streams, one of the survivors had like a basketball emote and was throwing basketballs at the killers. So it's really cool and it makes the game really interactive. So I'm looking forward to that part of the game as well. So yeah, guys, that's a little bit about VHS. I'm super excited and looking forward to playing this. And rest assured, the first chance I get to play this game on stream, I will be playing it. So make sure to follow my Twitch at Sharpshot so you guys don't miss a beat. But I think my favorite part of this game is the twist they have that the survivors can actually fight back on the killer, and also that it's a retro 80s theme. I think is really cool. I love that aesthetic, so I'm really looking forward to this game. So yeah, guys, those are the 6 things that VHS does better than DBD. As I said, I'm really looking forward to this game, but comment below your thoughts on VHS, and are you guys excited for it as much as I am? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, guys, that's been the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. This has been Sharpshot, and I will see you guys in the next video.